Hey YouTube, it's JP Dillon. Welcome to part 3 in what I hope to be the final episode of the 1987 Toshiba 2036. In the last episode we replaced the jungle IC I damaged as well as got the vertical issues resolved. So now what's left is to do the setup adjustments. That's tax, which is touchy. So let's go to our test generator at channel 4. Alright. So what we have now is a test pattern. We can see that the picture is tilted a little bit this way. It keeps wanting to fine-tune my generator, which is weird. But what we're going to focus on now is getting the grayscale and stuff right, because you can see there's a bit of a green tint to the picture. Now I have the contrast and brightness turned down because I don't want the camera to keep blinking repeatedly. That's also going to help us set the focus and stuff. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to turn our color control all the way off. Our contrast control near minimum. And the brightness at about midpoint. In fact, let's just turn the contrast all the way to minimum. And now we have no picture, which is what I would expect. Because the CRT needs to be adjusted. It tests good, but the screens are obviously off. So we're going to go through the setup adjustments basically. And if we go back here on our neck board, we see that we have our red bias, our green bias, and our blue bias. And down here we have our green drive and our blue drive. So our red is the dominant color since it contains both the screen and the drive information. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the control, the red control, at about midpoint, which is about where it is actually. It's close to it, or maybe not. Nope. We're almost at max actually. So let's set this to about midpoint. Taking care not to zap myself. So we're at midpoint there. Oh, and of course let's turn the green and blue off. They were both all at about the same point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up the screen control on the flyback until I just start to see red. Like that there. I don't know if you can see that, but that's our red gun right there. And now what I want to do is come back over here and adjust the blue until those lines turn purple. Which they've done about there. And then the green until it turns gray, kind of like that. And we can see that it's a little bit, with the brightness control halfway up, we've got a little bit of haze, so I'm going to back off on the screen until that just goes dark. The grays are now black. That's what I want. And now we can turn the contrast up to about midpoint. And we'll change patterns when we go to adjust the white balance, because it's not really possible to see it with this pattern, although I have another pattern generator that we can use. But really I'm concerned about the unlevel picture, the tilt. And the way that we resolve that, so we come back to the yoke here, and you can see that Phillips screw there on the yoke. We want to loosen that and then rotate the yoke some. Let's make sure there's no debris attached to my screwdriver that would fall into the set. I'm going to loosen that a little bit. I can feel it let go of the yoke. And then I'm going to attempt to rotate the yoke, and it of course is stuck. Yeah, of course. Alright, I'm going to need 2 hands to break this one free. Alright, so now that I got it free, I should be able to rotate the yoke, which I can. We're going to try to line that up so it looks fairly straight. That's pretty good looking. It's going to go blanky blanky. It's still a little tiny bit of tilt. Watch that corner there come down a little bit. Alright, that's looking alright. So let me secure that nut before we go adjusting any more. So that's looking okay. I am a little perturbed about the convergence up here, which you can see is off. And likewise, right up there in that corner is off, but it ain't going to be perfect. That's the thing I don't like about inlines, is that you can get them very good overall. Like from a distance, it looks nice. And the center portion here is okay. But it's just like the far corners. There's no corrective adjustments on this for that. So it's just too bad. But geometry looks good. I am going to try to adjust the blue on the neck here. Yeah, just no matter what, it's never quite perfect. I mean, it's close, but it's just never quite perfect, and we can back off on the this guy a little bit here. Hard to tell because the camera keeps blanking it out, but we're pretty close. Alright, yeah, convergence-wise, it's never going to be perfect, but it looks good from 3 feet. Almost can't tell. Alright, let's switch patterns here. So here's no color. And with our tint at midpoint, my generator times out after 5 minutes, which seems silly. Let's bring the color up. That looks pretty good. Pretty accurate there. Let's see if I can get my other generator with the full NTSC pattern. Alright, so I've got my little HDMI to RF hooked up. It displays a nice rainbow pattern here. These colors are super bright. That's a little better. And the camera's blanking right now. It's a very bright, sharp picture, which makes me happy. Good CRT on this one. This one was worth the effort. See if I can just angle down a bit and you can see those nice bright colors. Of course, camera's not wanting to focus, but oh well. So let's switch over to video. Alright, so here we are on regular TV. Had to diddle with the box a little bit. Ha. Oh, too much contrast. This thing is just stupid bright. Gotta turn that down a bit. Yeah, much better. Good flesh tones on that one. Let's see if there's anything else that won't get me a nasty copyright strike. Really sharp detail, even on small text. I'm just really impressed with this. The color demodulation is really good too. There's no color shadowing or anything like that. Wish it would stop blinking and just kind of hold up. Yeah, there was some story about a AI photo that was generated that looked like the Pentagon had gone up, and interesting times we live in for sure. But the camera just doesn't do it justice. The flesh tones on this are so great. And yeah, you see a little bit of convergence error up top here, but that's really the only spot that it's bad. Everything else is pretty excellent. I'm really happy with how this turned out. This was worth the effort to me. Remote works too. Need to go down on the black level a little bit. We're going back to stupid people not paying attention to their kids. How about just not leaving your kids alone? So yeah, this thing looks great. Let's see if I can get a blank no signal here, or I can turn down the screen a little bit just to give me that pure black effect. There we go. Just wanted to make sure everything was good. Really good picture on this set. I'm happy. That tack switch is touchy, but I'll probably just end up using the remote. But anyways, this thing is good to go. Clean it up, put it into use. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. But it's all, everything about it's fixed. It's all dialed in. It has a really nice picture. I didn't even have to touch the drives. White balance is really good. So I'm just going to enjoy this one for a while. And it'll get used. Well, it'll probably go over on the little burn-in spot I have over there to the right of the bench. And I just let them play for a couple days, make sure they're happy. And then it will get taken back and put in the man cave, and we'll hook all the old consoles up to it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this journey, and we'll get back into the Emerson soon and figure out why we've got such weak video NIF response, which I'm sure we'll figure out. Till then, thanks for watching.